Good morning, Zio here, and today is Sunday, which means it's time for our Gaming Sunday Roundup. I said that so wrong. Anyway, our Sunday Gaming Roundup, where we go ahead and just take a look back in gaming for the week and see what all we covered. If you want something more expanded or more detail about it, of course, links are always in the description down below to the according videos, whether you're on BitChute or on YouTube. You can find which one suits you the best to go ahead and take a look at. So, with all that, let's get into it, shall we? And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and tick that button right now. And of course, if you need to, go grab yourself some coffee. We got a few things to go over. Well, not a whole lot, but you know, it's Sunday. We keep it short and simple here on this. So if you want anything more expanded upon, of course, links are down below, so you can go take a look at that. But first, on Monday, we did talk about the Atari token. The Atari token is sort of this token that is going to be complementing the Atari VCS, and that we talked about betting, among other things that are pretty dang interesting to take a look at. So I advise you, if you hadn't looked at that yet, you should go ahead and do so. Take a look at that and see what you think about it. It's the Atari token. You know, there's a lot there from what they have plans for how this is going to be used. You know, from like digital property to possibly being able to trade digital assets like games and other things. Among, you know, buying groceries and shopping and gambling and other things. So Atari is getting into the gambling scene, which is fine, you know, having an actual casino or whatnot, you know, instead of going, say, the loot box route. Surprise mechanics. Anyway, no, legit gambling, which is totally fine with me. So that was an interesting thing to take a look at. And apparently the first Atari VCS's update, by the way, are finally getting out into the wild, where people are actually getting it, testing it, messing with it, and playing with it. I, however, don't have one. I don't really plan on getting one either, but we all know how I feel about the Atari VCS. If you don't know, go check out my first 2 videos on the subject. But anyway, yeah, so that's a thing that's happening. It'd be really interesting to see how it actually shapes up, and you know, maybe I might wind up regretting not getting in on that game. But yeah, I guess time will tell, right? And then we talked about XCloud while also joking about Google Stadia. There is a follow-up video kind of to that coming tomorrow, where I am going to do an actual update of Google Stadia without the bashing, because apparently, you know, I gotta stop blindly hating on things. However, I think I got my point across in that video. So, you know, we talked about the whole point of that video, of course, was XCloud. You know, the fact that XCloud is doing what it's doing. They are now putting it into the PlayStation, the Xbox Ultimate thing, which you can see over here on the left side, or on the right side of the screen, left side of the, yeah, forget it. Anyway, on the left side of these columns, it's about $14.99 a month. You get Xbox Live Gold, you get Game Pass for the system, you get Game Pass for the PC, which I currently have, by the way, and find really surprisingly good for the price tag. Gosh, I am so late to the game of Game Pass that I'm just like, wow, how in the world have I not done this? Which, of course, you know, doesn't have anything to do with it. Anyway, point is, it's an incredibly good value, and I wanted to do an update, but I didn't feel like it was much of an update, you know, I could make a full video on, so we'll do it right here. But of course, the Xbox Game Show thingamabobber happened about a week or so ago, and everything that was shown on that will be available on XCloud or Game Pass, something like that. I think it's Game Pass at launch. So all those awesome looking games are going to be available. That's Halo Infinite. That's whatever that thing is that Obsidian is doing with the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids thing that makes that great joke at the beginning of it, with Cyberpunk 2077, among other things. There's also seems to be some kind of thing where they're taking pretty much a shot at the Elder Scrolls, which I can't wait to check out. But yeah, we should save all that till we get to that section. Anyway, point is, XCloud is coming out. It's going to be bundled into that thing right there. And in the future, right now, that's where it's going to be. In the future, they are going to separate it and make it its own separate service. But right now, that is the current plan. So, yeah. What better time to try it is when that starts to happen, especially if you do the first month for $1. I was about to say free. But yeah, I mean, that $1 for the first month thing is the only reason I even tried the PC version. I realized that was the thing, and I was like, you know what? For $1, why not? And I am now set. I'm done. I'm between that and other things, I'm going to be Xbox all the way at this point in time. But anyway. Then we talked about Sony, right? Sony and the PlayStation 5. Earlier in the year, we did talk about how they were going to be limiting the production of units due to the current pandemic that is that is destroying the world, essentially, you know, that sort of thing, you know, end of times, all that stuff. Where's my meteor? Anyway, oh gosh. So they are now reversing that. They are ramping up production, doubling it, to be honest, and they're going to be doubling production up on the DualSense and as well to meet demand. However, they are talking about, or they are essentially currently trying to limit it 1 per household at this particular time, which isn't really hard to circumvent at all. I mean, it may not be a little harder to circumvent on the site because it may actually, you know, they may keep track of, okay, we're sending one to this address right here, right? And then somebody else comes through with another account and tries to send another one to that address and goes, nope, sorry, you're already getting one. And, you know, other than that, going out to physically buy one, that's a different story. I mean, you can go and make a, you know, pre-order at the game store, the GameStop, the Walmarts, if they do that, the Best Buys, and all the other places, Circuit City's dead, what am I talking about? Kmart also died. Anyway, any store that would sell it, right? You know, and have pre-orders and stuff, you can go to each and every one if you really, really want to do that and get you, say, maybe the digital and the disc version if you want to, or if you're trying to scout people, you know, that's always an option too. Or you know, have your brother go out or sister go out or something like that, your mother, father, grandparent, whoever, to go pick up one all at the same store. I mean, there's ways to circumvent it, just, yeah, honestly. But yeah. They are trying to keep it limited 1 per household because they are doubling the production. However, the problem is they don't have enough manpower to essentially ship the units at this point in time. I think if they had just kept it, honestly, I think they shouldn't have doubled production. They should have stayed with the same roadmap that they were going on, especially if they can't ship out double production, right? Because that means you're going to have a lot of systems that are going to get built and then they're just going to sit around somewhere, whether it's a hot warehouse or a container on a ship somewhere or something else. You know, it's just going to sit there and do nothing anyway. I don't see the point of actually doubling the production, but that's me. Anyway, so we go back to Microsoft, of course. This week was kind of the week of Microsoft for a bit, and we're going to be revisiting Microsoft too next week. But we did go back to Microsoft to talk about the lockout and the discontinuing of the Xbox One X and the Xbox One S digital editions ahead of the launch of the Series X. They are discontinuing those, of course. So, you know, if you want one, go get one now while you still can. And then we talked about the Xbox games showcase, right? This is where we kind of spilled into it a second ago, right? But yeah, they showed off a lot of cool looking games. There's some racing games, there's some fantasy games, there's Halo Infinite. among other things. And it looks like we're going to be right into the racing thing. Let's look at something else. But yeah, they've got some other things floating about. Oh yeah, here's that obsidian thing. But yeah, so they did do that. You're supposed to actually play, dude. There we go. Which showed off some gameplay, showed off some non-gameplay. It was a lot of fun. So I sort of did a semi-live reaction to it where I started watching it so I could talk about it, right? And then realized that I should probably actually record me reacting, that sort of thing, because I don't do that often, and it sounded like it was a fun idea. It was. Unfortunately, the audio on that side apparently wasn't so great. Unfortunately, I was unable to fix it, but yeah, sorry. Did go ahead and do that, took a look at some of the stuff. It was a lot of fun. They've got a lot of things planned, and of course everything here is going to the Xbox Game Pass thingamabobber, right, as soon as it launches. So that's gonna be cool. And then Sunday is today. Saturday, we went ahead and we did our Saturday upcoming game list. So if you want to know what's coming out this week, sort of take a quick look at it, quick gander, you know, hit the trailer and see my thoughts on it, of course. You know, that's the place to go to. I do it every Saturday where we just go through and talk about the different games that are coming out, what they're coming out for, what day they come out for, and that sort of thing. So, you know, if you missed that, it's out there, it's in the wild. And I did one other bonus thing yesterday, apparently. I decided if you like World of Warcraft and you play World of Warcraft, I made you a guide. Wouldn't you know it? Oh gosh, I'm gonna die. Anyway, yep, I'm gonna die. Oh, so I died a little. Yep. Don't drink coffee while speaking. Bad idea. Anyway, so I made a guide for the Selfie Cam Mark II. It's an in-game toy that can only get through Warlords of Draenor's mission tables, a random rare mission, and then the upgrade to make it into a toy. It's also another random rare mission that has to come from the Garrison stupid table thing that, you know, everybody loved, of course. After that happened, so we did make a guide on how to go about doing that. So if you happen to play World of Warcraft and it happens to be on your checklist of things to do, there's a guide for you now. That one actually I don't think is linked in the description down below. But yeah, you'll have to go check it out. It's also available on BitChute and YouTube as well. So links, of course, to each video is in the description of that over at BitChute, since there's, you know, when it comes to playlists, things are a little wonky. Anyway, that's all I got to say today. I died a little. You saw it. Yep, I'm just going to keep that in there. Me dying. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.